Hey guys, so I tried to stream tonight. It did not work. I tried twice. My computer is just way too old to do it. I think it was crashing every 2 seconds. There were about 5 of you that stopped by. I really appreciate that. I know that a lot of you probably thought this channel was dead. I had made a video a long time ago saying that it wouldn't be, and then life happened, and I don't really want to get into it, but no, I don't think this channel is dead. I'm going to try to upload more consistently if I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do here in this format what I was planning on doing if the stream had worked. So what I was planning on doing is reacting to a WatchMojo video, which is going to make me mad, and I think that might entertain some of you. So yeah, let's watch this top 10 ghosts, which for whatever reason has more views than my video. So let's get into it.
Well, gang, looks like we got another mystery on our hands. And that mystery is how Shaggy somehow got imbued with godlike powers.
What?
Yeah, we're already off to a bad start. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a joke. Shaggy has always had godlike powers. Just watch episode 1 and how he gets into that museum window.
Hey guys, I'm Rebecca from WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 monsters from Scooby-Doo TV shows.
How did we get into this, Scoob?
We'll be basing our choices on how iconic, creative, and frightening the monsters are, but...
Okay, so she's going to rank them according to whether they're iconic, creative, and frightening. So I just went back to my video, which is the top 10 Scooby-Doo ghosts. Feel free to check that out if you haven't already. I only had 2 criteria in that video, which is creativity and creepiness. So it's pretty similar. It's not all that different. I think what's really going to come down to is the ghosts that they choose. Let's see. I think my list is pretty definitive, so let's find out.
But since we will be unmasking these baddies, a groovy spoiler alert is now in effect.
Why? These episodes have been out for decades. There's no need for a spoiler. I mean, if you have not seen these episodes, what have you been doing with your life? There's no need for a spoiler alert. Let's move on.
Yipes? Double yipes!
You know, maybe Shaggy has been the true monster all along.
Yep, that's me. Mr. Frankenstein himself. I mean, what? I don't know why she's already made like 2 digs. This must have been, I don't know, when Nintendo released their advertisement for like Super Smash Brothers or something, and we had OP Shaggy. I'd have to check like when this video was made, but I don't understand why there's already been 2 digs at Shaggy and we're not even a minute into this. Just get to the list.
And he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you pesky memers. Jinkies! Alright, let's get to the list.
Shaggy, give me a hand.
This is tied for the most terrifying day of my life!
I was what?
Every other freaking day of my life!
Number 10. Gator Ghoul.
Maybe we should alter course, like maybe in reverse.
Reverse?
Scooby and the gang head to the Deep South to pay a visit to Ma and Pa Skillet and Scooby-Doo's cousin, Scooby-Dum.
I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks this way. I don't mind Scooby-Dum. We could do a poll in the comments below which character people find more annoying, Scooby-Dum or Scrappy. I think I know what the answer
Seriously.
is.
The Skillets run a restaurant, but it's being haunted by the alligator ghost, known as the Gator Ghoul, a terrifying monster whose worst attribute is glowing eyes that allow it to see in the dark.
I'm sorry I keep stopping. No, it's not how night vision works. It's not... oh my gosh. It's just to make the ghost look creepy. That's it. It's not to see in the dark. Like, okay, just, it's got glowing eyes. That's it. Move on.
And oh, ghost! Yikes!
Well, that and it's a frickin' alligator. Ultimately, however, the alligator is revealed to be not the careless handyman Simon.
That much gonna pay through the snout before I'm through with him.
I think this is the best evidence so far that this lady knows next to nothing about what she's reviewing. Again, I think WatchMojo is basically a clip farm. Pretty much without question, this is the rule of thumb, I think I've said this before, every Scooby-Doo episode in the classic series has a red herring character. This guy is a quintessential red herring character. We've got, big, mean, overweight man, right, that sounds angry, because every red herring character is always angry for some unexplained reason, right? And then they contrast that with the character that you would never see coming, of course, right? In this case, it's the also innocent, way too innocent librarian. It's not that deep, but the fact that it doesn't even mention something like that, again, like WatchMojo, is such a clip farm. Like, come on.
But the sweet, kindly Alice Dovely, who was trying to drive the Skillets out of business to sell their soft drink formula to the big soda conglomerate that fired her.
Besides the fritters in this episode, I just loved the random dig at capitalism. It's a kid show, and the writers who were smoking so much grass, like, I don't even know what they were on when they made this, but gotta sell out. They could have just put Coca-Cola, but they didn't. It's just one of those, like, touches in this episode that I just love.
Miss Dovely, the gator ghoul? That's ridiculous.
And she would have gotten away with it.
If it weren't for you nosy kids.
Number 9, the Headless Horseman.
This one's okay. I'd say, like, in the grand scheme of things, this monster is kind of like this ghost is probably a high C, low B tier. Yeah, it's fine at number 9, I guess.
A headless horseman!
The reckless horseman? Who?
Halloween's spooky, but it gets even spookier when, during a groovy Halloween party, the gang meets the Headless Horseman, a ghoul whose noggin's been swapped out for a pumpkin.
Zoinks! It's him!
I want a head!
Is anybody else getting the sense that WatchMojo's scripts are made by AI? Because this is like the 3rd or 4th time that the lady has stated a very obvious fact, and then immediately it's followed up with a clip that they could have just left the clip in. I don't know. It's getting on my nerves. It's just uninspired and lazy. Yeah, what a clip farm. WatchMojo.
Turns out the horseman is still haunting the Crane family, descendants of Ichabod, you see.
What happened to Ichabod?
We don't know. Nobody in Sleepy Hollow ever saw him again.
And is most interested in Mrs. Crane's diamond necklace, as explained by her cousin Elwood.
The curse on that diamond is the cause of everything that's happened here this evening.
Now again, if WatchMojo was smart, they would immediately note, right after this clip, that the fact that this guy says that is just a dead giveaway that he's the ghost. Like, if you watch this episode, there is, if I remember correctly, there is not, I mean, it looks, there is no red herring character. It is so obvious who the ghost is, but they're not going to mention that because I don't even think they've really watched the whole episode. Yeah, like, honestly, like, I think I might change what I said earlier. Like, this is either a number 9 or I don't even know if it would even it didn't even make my list for that reason. Like, it's an okay episode, but would I put it on the top 10? No, I didn't.
Did you say curse?
Things start to get really tense when the team sees that not only can the Headless Horseman remove his own pseudo-head, he can also take Cousin Elwood's head clean off as well.
He's got Elwood's head!
Fortunately, their reenactment of Sleepy Hollow ends when they discover that the horseman is actually Elwood himself. who wanted to scare Mrs. Crane into giving up the diamond.
And let's get this phony Elwood mask off and see who this headless horseman really is.
Let go of my face.
Number 8. The Ghost of Captain Cutler.
Zoinks! A seagoing ghost!
Many Scooby-Doo ghosts were supposedly the spirit.
Okay, so this is the first ghost that is in both of our lists. I started my list with number 10, and they've got Captain Cutler at number 8, not too far off. Let's see down the line if there's any more carryover.
Spirits of people that were long since dead, or not. And the ghost of Captain Cutler is perhaps one of the most famous of this type in the Scooby-Doo canon.
Beach hermit Ebenezer Sharp claims it was the ghost of Captain Cutler who stole it.
Ghost?
Ghost?
The captain's ghost took the form of a scuba suit covered in glowing seaweed that would rise out of the water to steal yachts and scare the Mystery Inc. kids.
Phosphorum pyrifera,
Like speak English.
a phosphorus glowing seaweed found only in the area known as the graveyard of ships.
Thanks to a dive down to the graveyard of ships, the team discovers that the real Captain Cutler faked his death
You found the clue?
so that he and his wife could trick everyone into believing he was a ghost, as a cover for his yacht-stealing activities. Ingenious.
Hey, listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, his plan is ingenious, but the reason he's so memorable is the fact that, one, most people are scared of the ocean, and two, if this guy was coming at you under the water, you'd be terrified too. But of course, we're not going to mention that part.
This gang, teenage sleuths solve boat hijacking mystery. Captain Cutler and his wife taken into custody by sheriff.
Number 7. The Headless Spectre.
Haunted mansion? Go?
And the Headless Spectre.
On their way to
Okay, so this is the second ghost that's in both of our lists. It's making me a little suspicious about where they got their inspiration from.
a rock show, Mystery Inc. stumbles upon a supposedly haunted mansion, where a headless spirit roams the grounds. Their initial investigation leads them to believe that maybe the house is haunted by the spirit of Jefferson Stillwell, a rich old man who had apparently hidden a large treasure on his property.
Hey, I wonder who this guy is. Jefferson Stillwell.
This is just another part of classic Scooby-Doo that I just love. Jefferson Stillwell. That name sounds awfully familiar. Almost like Stonewall Jackson, or as his full name, Thomas Jonathan Jackson. Gotta love it.
Armed with nothing but a candle and an eerie laugh. This ghost torments the gang until they find out he's actually the very much alive great-great-great-grandson of Jefferson Stillwell, Penrod.
I am Penrod Stillwell, great-great-great-grandson of Jefferson Stillwell.
He only donned the disguise to keep thieves away from his mansion, as he looked for the treasure.
Like why, man? You scared us half to death.
There's a hidden treasure someplace in that old house that is rightly mine.
Number 6. The Tar Monster.
Tar Monster is a pretty good choice. It is different from my original list. Pretty iconic, I'll give them that. Creative, yes. Creepy, yes. The only reason I didn't include this ghost in my original list, if you watch this episode, it's not good. You have a great ghost that is completely sabotaged by bad writing. But other than that, there's a lot of good things about this
Mystery
ghost.
Inc. is on location in Turkey to check in with their friend Dr. Brixton, who's discovered an ancient city during an archaeological dig. Unfortunately, a tar monster is supposedly the guardian of said ancient city.
Under the protection of a legendary creature that lived in the pools, the Tar Monster.
As its name implies, this lumbering giant seems to be made out of tar. Things get...
Two things. One, it's obvious this monster is made out of tar. You don't need to say that it seems like it's made out of tar. Second, I always thought, this is a conspiracy theory, maybe, but is it possible that this city in Turkey is Troy? But if that's the case, why is it a tar monster? But it does seem like it is Troy. But anyways, the bigger issue doesn't need to, you don't need to say like, oh, it seems like the monster's made out of tar. Like,
Worse
what?
before they get
What
better.
are you doing?
When it's discovered that Dr. Brixton's assistant, Mr. Stoner, has been kidnapped by the monster.
Last night I heard my assistant, Mr. Stoner, shouting for help.
Again, you gotta love these names, Mr. Stoner. If you go to one of my videos about the weirdest moments in Scooby-Doo, you get this actress and her name is Candy Mint. But this one is just too on the nose for the team behind Scooby-Doo, Mr. Stoner.
But as they're wont to do, the mystery is soon unraveled, revealing that Mr. Stoner wasn't kidnapped, but was in fact the monster all along, and wanted to steal the treasure of the ancient city for himself.
Now let's see who the tar monster really is. Why, it's Stoner, my missing assistant.
Number 5. Phantom Shadows, also known as the Giggling Green Ghosts.
Now, good night and pleasant dreams, y'all.
Because of his heroics,
Okay, this is the third time, that we've got same ghost, in both of our lists. I'm getting a little suspicious, especially since, oh, look at that. The green ghosts, the cackling ghosts, is number 5 on their list, and oh, look at that, it's number 5 on my list. Oh, how does that happen?
Scooby-Doo is chosen as one of a few heirs to a millionaire. However, the only way these people can claim their fortune is to spend a night in a house. Sounds easy enough.
You're going to receive an equal share of the $1 million providing you spend tonight here in the old family mansion.
The only thing standing in Scooby's way, however, are 2 phantoms with rattling chains that are trying to scare the heirs out of the house one by one.
I mentioned this in my video. If you're a young child, this is without question one of the scariest Scooby-Doo episodes you can see. I mean, everything from the character design to the creepy laugh. I mean, it's a lot for a kid. And I mean, this is like quintessential, iconic Scooby-Doo ghost design right here.
The Phantom Shadow!
Only he's not a shadow. He's a green ghost.
Now there's 2 of them.
Thanks to his friends, Scooby-Doo proves resilient and is able to unmask the phantoms as Mr. Creeps and Mr. Crawls, 2 lawyers who wanted the fortune for themselves.
Well, there they are, Sheriff. Mr. Creeps and his partner, Mr. Crawls.
Greedy lawyers, where do they come up with these things?
Creeps and crawls. They sure picked the right lawyers for this job.
Yeah, and they also touched on the same joke that I also touched on, so just keeping that there. But yeah, like this, this is without question, I think, one of the funniest Shaggy moments in any of the classic episodes. There's a lot. I mean, there's 2 levels to the humor here, and I'm gonna do the thing where I explain the joke. One, it's just funny that you have 2 guys that are named Creeps and Crawls. But number 2, the fact that they're lawyers. I mean, we already had the critique of capitalism, and now we're bashing lawyers. I mean, with the lawyer part, I'm all here for it. Stealing inheritance and all that, and they're Creeps and Crawls. Like, it's good stuff.
Number 4, Phantom.
Okay, pause. First of all, the name of the ghost sucks. The episode sucks. I remember rewatching this episode with my wife. It's been a couple years. This episode is so dumb. It defies, there are some, I love Scooby-Doo, but there are some dumb episodes. This one is near the top of the list. The fact that they included this is not an iconic villain at all. It's not. And if you watch this episode, it's obvious who it is. The ghost is not creepy. The whole episode, I'll condense the whole episode down, and I think they're probably going to show some of the B-roll. The whole episode boils down to everybody running around a disc studio trying to get a piece of paper. That's the whole thing. And it's so repetitive and dumb, and I could go on. Maybe one day I'll do a review of the episode. It's not good. Why the heck is this before the gaggle of galloping ghosts. Who knows?
This is the Phantom! Run, Scooby!
Scoob and the gang are at Decade Records to hear their friend Jimmy Lewis play a gig.
I hope we're not too late for the recording session.
When they find that the studio is haunted by the Phantom, also known as the Disc Demon. Looking like a member of Kiss and the Joker had a baby, this Phantom is dressed in full 70s glam rock regalia and is trying to locate a song penned by a writer who has disappeared.
Give me the music.
Yeah, there's no rattling chains, there's no deep moaning beneath the ocean, there's no headless guy, it's just a psycho clown calling himself the Disc Demon. Again, I told you the name sucks. And then he says, "Give me the music." Like what? It's so stupid. Who? Moving on.
Music? Here, hold this a minute, will you, Scoob?
As it turns out, this Gene Simmons Ziggy Stardust wannabe is actually,
now to see who this Phantom really is.
gasp, Ace Decade, the nephew of Decade Records owner, who'd been stealing records and selling them on the black market.
I get it. Like he was smuggling the records out in the garbage cans.
Right, Shaggy.
Number 3, Spooky Space Kook.
Oh, the ghost!
You can't make this up. Okay, one, yes, Spooky Space Cook, iconic, creepy, the laugh is great, but look at this. I mean, they're not, okay, this may be all conspiracy, this could all be coinky dink, I don't know, but look at that, number 3 and number 3. It's almost like WatchMojo watched my video and substituted a couple of the monsters. How the heck? How does that happen? How does that happen? Explain. Somebody in the I mean, again, it could just be a complete coincidence, but you know what? As a clip farm, I wouldn't put it past WatchMojo to have watched my video and then, oh, you know, number 3. Just what a bunch of clowns.
It's hard to take a monster with a name like Spooky Space Kook seriously, but that didn't stop this alleged alien from terrorizing an airfield. Coming complete with a spacesuit, floating skull, and strobe lights to coincide with its creepy high-pitched laughter, this is one scary being. Who happens to leave glowing footprints everywhere he goes.
Do you guys see what I see?
It's those spooky glowing tracks again.
Zoinks!
Never do that again. Never, ever do that again. It's zoinks, not zoiks. It's zoinks. Get it right. Oh my gosh, guys, I never want to watch one of these WatchMojos again. I don't know why I did this to myself. This is terrible. This is terrible. It's not even funny. Who finds this funny?
However, in one of the group's more creative unmaskings, they trap the Spooky Space Kook in a wind tunnel.
Start it up, Freddy!
Which blows off the costume and reveals Henry Bascom, a greedy guy who wanted to scare local farmers off their land so he could get it cheap and sell it to the government.
You can, shut it off, Fred!
Number 2, the 10,000 volt ghost.
We're in luck! I found the battery-powered hot plate!
One of the more...
Okay, so this one is different from mine. I'm not sure why it's here. I've never found this. This one's not creepy. This one is, even as a kid, I kind of found this one to be more silly than anything. There's not really a moment in this episode where I think, oh yeah, this is genuinely creepy. This ghost seems more like a creature that the Justice League would fight, not Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I have no clue why they put this at number 2, but it goes to show, again, because I don't think they know very much about Scooby-Doo at all.
Creative monsters in the Scooby-Doo canon. The 10,000 volt ghost is a being made entirely out of electricity. At least that's what it looks like. It's electric.
Yeah, I guess in terms of creativity, it's up there. But, I mean, the same could be said for the tar monster. But also, did you notice again, well, it seems like the ghost is made out of electricity, but, okay, well, the same thing was with the tar monster. It's obvious that it's not that. but it doesn't make the ghost scary. I get like I don't understand why isn't the tar monster then up here if that's what the criteria is?
Miracle powers can even melt metal, making him one shocking foe.
Get it? Because it's made out of electricity. It's so shocking. You know, it reminds me of another joke. Where do dads keep all their dad jokes? In the data base. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, so funny, WatchMojo.
The gang first meets up with this baddie while they're traveling through Winter Haven, a small town that's now deserted because of the ghost.
You mean the 10,000-volt ghost, sir?
They're told that the orange ball of electricity is actually the ghost of an electrician named Voltner, who disappeared after an explosion.
There was a violent short circuit, which overloaded the circuit breakers and blew out all the transformers.
But as you may have guessed, Voltner is actually just a greedy guy in a ghost costume.
You see, melting that snow short-circuited the batteries on his do-it-yourself ghost suit and ran him down.
Let's see who he really is.
It's Voltner.
Well, I declare.
This is another one of those name things where it's like as a kid you could find out so quickly who the bad guy is. Because the bad guy is his character, his name is Voltner. You know, it's almost like when you're playing Fire Red Pokemon and you get to the electric gym leader. Remember him? Lieutenant Surge. Get it? Because he uses electric type Pokemon. Like, God, like, again, this is not number 2
Before
worthy.
we unmask our favorite Scooby-Doo monster, here are some honorable mentions.
Leave it to Daphne to pick the wrong door. Oh, it's dark and spooky in here, Scooby.
Good work, Scooby. I'll give you a hand.
I don't know, this is the most random assortment of honorable mentions that I've ever seen, but did you notice? Look who's in the honorable mentions. The puppeteer, the puppet master. Guess who had him at number 1? Your boy, classic Shaggy. Like, okay, let's see who their number 1 is.
Number 1, the Creeper.
That must be the Creeper.
Okay, so the Creeper, it's a good monster. I didn't pick him for my top 10 because it's a little too much on the nose. Also, there are maybe 2 moments in this episode that are legitimately scary. Probably the beginning of the episode is, I think, one of the creepiest openings to a Scooby-Doo episode. But the main reason I didn't pick him and put him in my top 10, this episode is more hilarious than it is scary for a kid. I remember even when I was younger, significantly younger, laughing my butt off at this episode. There's one scene, the barn scene in particular is so ridiculously, stupidly funny that it's really hard to take this episode seriously. That's why I didn't pick it. Let's listen a little bit more about why they did.
Creeper creeped onto the scene when the gang had to investigate a series of bank robberies, all perpetrated by a green-skinned monster.
Zoinks, it's him!
And let us tell you, this was one of the gang's biggest and most complex mysteries. Clues, including a simple piece of paper, pointed in many different directions, keeping the Mystery Inc. gang on.
This is just flat out not true. The mystery itself is difficult, to use their words, because of the lack of suspects. But at the same time, there's really only one big one, and so you can pretty easily figure out who it is just by process of elimination. Again, it's a classic episode. It's good. there's like one bit where they try to give you a red herring. Doesn't really work. There's the one part in the episode where Scooby and Shaggy are in this weird hermit cave, and that part's a little weird. But beyond that, it's a really funny episode. It's not really creepy. It is iconic. I could see it in a top 10. Maybe if I went back and redid mine, I might include him in there. But overall, this is kind of a weird list. I'm a little bit on the suspicious side that they copied part of my list. I mean, there's at least minimum 3 monsters, maybe more. It's late, I don't really remember, that they almost lifted entirely out of my video. You could say that, well, there's a limited number of monsters, so there's going to be crossover. Yeah, true, but also the same spot in the list, including their last honorable mention, which was my number 1. I don't know. Call me kooky, but anyways, thanks for sticking around. This was supposed to be a stream. I'm hoping that in the future I'm going to get new equipment. I'll actually be able to stream. It'll be a lot more smooth. I know this video is going to be really choppy, but I did want to get something out. Hopefully more to come. I'm going to try to do a lot more reaction videos. I'll experiment with the shorts, but I really appreciate everybody, hanging around, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not going to, beat you guys over the head with hit this like button and subscribe and turn on notifications and all that stuff that drives people crazy. I'm going to try to keep things simple, but really appreciate you guys and hope you enjoyed this. WatchMojo. Get some creativity. Stop being a farm factory, a clip farm, and all that. Classic Shaggy, out.